Hi, welcome to my little garden here. Want to give you a little bit of a tour of what I do have going on and what I plan to have going on in the near future. This is going to be, we're starting kind of with the least impressive area, but this is just a little garden patch right in front of my front door here that had some space open and decided my wife and I both really like rosemary, and we'd love to have that kind of smell going through our front yard when people come to the house, when we come, home. So I planted some fresh rosemary in here as well as some basil just about a day or two ago. So nothing's popping up just yet, but that is one thing that we are doing. Another thing that I've done also that hasn't sprouted just yet, but will be in the near future, is that right here in this little area and also down that away, trying in kind of two different areas out here, planting some dragon fruit. You may have noticed that I do also have some that I'm trying to get sprouted in some containers. Trying a couple of different methods basically to try to get the dragon fruit to sprout. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it all works. With that in mind, I'll go to the area that is actually doing stuff for us right now, which is just kind of around the corner here. My house is a north-south facing home, so we are now going to the west end of it over here. And right up against this wall actually turns out to be a fairly nice growing area. Very small, what I've got going on right now, but it will be getting bigger. And yes, I know I've got a lot of cleanup to do here, but that'll come in time, of course. So first of all, in this area here, this is my pepper plants, and basically, let's see here, I've got ancho poblano right there. These two are both green bell peppers, and these three are banana peppers. All of them doing very, very well. You can see that I topped them all a couple of days ago, and we've got beautiful, nice green growth coming in at all the nodes now, which is exactly what you want to see on pepper plants. Same goes on all of them here. Going to get much bushier, much better quality peppers out of them by doing it this way. So I'm very excited about that. Over here was a little bit of an experiment that I was doing. Again, not the prettiest arrangement that I've ever made, but this is actually also a banana pepper. I didn't top this one because there wasn't a whole lot of good leaves at the bottom, but eventually I will wind up topping it a little bit. You can see there's a whole bunch of little flower buds and stuff forming on that one, and it's really too early in the growing phase for that to be a thing here. Those are all going to wind up falling off. None of them are going to do very well. Right next to it is a potato plant, just a russet potato that started growing some roots, so I decided to stick it in a pot. Despite the fact that this is not a very pretty solution, the orange buckets there, actually it does work really, really well, because what happens is I water up here, and then these buckets all have holes drilled in the bottom of it, and it works as a way of watering deeper down into the soil for all this. There's a couple things growing in here. Most of it is basil. 4 different varieties of basil. You see some of them are purple, so I'm very excited about those. But we've also got like this guy right here. This is eggplant that's growing, so I'm excited to see how that does. There was a little bit of an experiment in here. It's a little early still to be growing them, but I did throw some Brussels sprouts in here as well. So I'll see how those do. Hopefully those pop up and grow for a nice long time. And then there are a couple of cilantro as well, and I'm pretty sure those were planted right around the edge here. So I'm pretty sure that these two are both cilantro, maybe this little guy as well, because those were planted a little bit later on. So I'm excited to see what happens there. Hopefully that all works out. We've had a lot of monsoons here recently, including last night. Everything's very wet. I haven't had to water very much, and it's a gorgeous temperature right now here. Despite the fact that we're in Tucson, Arizona in July, it's actually only about Not even 80 degrees right now, but for several days prior, it had been getting well over 100, which is why this is here. This is just a very cheap, simple, easy way to make a little bit of a sunshade for these guys, because they were starting to get a little bit burned out. You can see on some of the lower leaves that it was just getting a little bit too hot for them, a little bit too much sun. So I went ahead and put that there. It seems to be a very simple, easy way that is working well for them. So with that in mind, I do want to show you also what I'm planning on doing, and that's what I'm planning on doing. I got to get rid of all this grass, got to spray it all. I've got a long way to go with it, but I have a lot of usable area, so I'm really hoping to make something good with it. This entire side yard here is I'm hoping to put maybe 3 rows of raised beds in, and I would have to think that I could probably easily get a 3x4 arrangement, so 12 garden beds in here once it's cleaned up. So that's what I'm hoping for. This fence right here goes into the other part of my yard. I'm going to show you a little bit of that, but I'm going to grow a vine on there that does well in full sun. So right now the plan is to grow grapes on that chain link, and I'm thinking probably the Thompson seedless, because seeded grapes are not my personal favorite, and I don't plan on making wine or anything like that with these grapes. So most likely just going to go with a good table variety. Thompson seedless is about the best there is for that. And then just to show you a little bit what the plan is with my yard, this first of all is a pomegranate tree. Never been able to get very good pomegranates off of it. However, oh, here come the pooches. Never been able to get very good pomegranates off it, but I also have never really taken very good care of it. So, say hi, Jocko Pup. Hi, Jocko. This year I went ahead and I flooded it. I gave it some fertilizer. I'm going to flood it at least once a month here to make sure that it does well. About 2 to 3 years ago, this is my lemon tree. This was doing a lot better. It was way, it was up to here or so. We had a frost that set in for 3 straight days, and it killed just about every citrus that was in the neighborhood. This plant did survive, but it's taken all 3 years just to get that much back. And I've cut back everything that I possibly could on that. But I've also now fertilized it and given it water, and I'm starting to see new growth on that too. So won't get any lemons on it this year, but it will be probably in the next couple of years. I'll start to get some lemons off of it, and I'm very excited about that. This tree right here is where all of this came off of. That same frost that killed that tree killed my 50-year-old tangerine tree, which, I'll be honest, I have never seen a fruit on it. So I don't know whether or not it's even worth saving at this point, but I did go ahead and cut back everything that I could on it. It does have some new growth on it, and I have seen some flowers on that new growth. I'm not expecting to get any tangerines from it, but I'm hoping that in a couple years growth that we might be able to kind of get it restarted. With it being 50 years old, it's actually more like 60 years old now. It's going to be tough. Sometimes citrus plants just stop producing after a certain amount of time. Other times they produce, but only every couple of years. Either way though, I would feel bad with this property being so old and that tree being so old and part of it. I would feel really bad just getting rid of it. So I'm going to give it a second try, give it a couple of years to try to do its thing, and if not, we'll reevaluate. But basically, obviously I've got to get rid of all this grass here too, which is growing so beautifully and so nicely now that the rains have come. But basically all around this little makeshift fire pit is where I plan to have my fruiting trees. So I've got the lemon right here. I've got key lime seeds inside. I'm hoping to do that. I've got orange, and I've got 2 other types of lemon that I'm hoping to put out here. I've got fig that I plan on putting out here somewhere, which is not citrus, of course, but I do want to have some figs growing. And then also I'm thinking later on I'll probably put something that I know grows very, very well in Tucson, would be like loquat or something along those lines. So that's the plan. I've got a long way to go, but it's just about you know, having kind of a daily grind, have something to do every day to work towards your goals, you know. So anyway, that's what I have going on right now. And if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, any of that, I'd greatly appreciate it. The pooches say goodbye, and they hope you have very happy gardening as well.